43 quintillion. Any guesses as to what that is? Okay, let me be a little more precise. 43 quintillion, 252 quadrillion, 3 trillion, 274 billion, 489 million, and 856,000. Yes, that's the total number of possible combinations that a Rubik's Cube has. What started as a simple project by Erno Rubik back in 1974, 48 years down the line, and it's one of the best-selling toys to be ever made. To you, the Rubik's Cube may seem like a simple toy, but to me, it's something much more than that. It helped me start a new business, meet new people, discover myself, and create a brand truly unique to me. As a young kid, I was always engaged in multiple things. I would try out an activity and let it go soon after, whether it was origami, sports, or card magic. While I tried multiple things, I never really excelled in any. I remember getting my first Rubik's Cube back in 2015. Me and my dad were busy shopping for gifts during the festive season and saw ourselves entering a little toy shop. Young SARVAGYA was obviously more interested in looking for things he could get for himself, and the remote control helicopter was an immediate favorite. But Dad told me to get a Rubik's Cube instead. Now imagine this, telling a 13-year-old kid that instead of getting this super cool remote control toy that flies, he should get a plastic cube with colors on it. How boring, right? That's exactly what I thought. But little did I know, this Rubik's Cube will end up giving me so much. Countless memories, experiences, and more importantly, life lessons. After I got the cube, for the first few days, I was too scared to even scramble it because I didn't know how to solve it. And the colors looked way better untouched by me. It's just that we're often so scared of the aftermath of our actions, it's very easy for us to get caught in the vicious spiral of what-ifs. Now, I am by all means too young to give you any sort of life lessons, but I've had my fair share of misadventures in life. And messing up the Rubik's Cube is a mess that I'm definitely proud of. Now, for someone like me who was struggling in completing their math homework, solving the cube on their own definitely didn't go as planned. So I did what everybody normally does and went online. It did take a lot of time, many hours of practice, and an endless amount of online video streaming till I was finally able to learn how to solve the cube. Sometimes in life, the things we run away from are the things we most desperately need to do. For some of you, it could be talking to your parents about stuff that matters, or asking for a raise. Or like for me, it was fiddling with that cube. Sometimes taking a leap of faith is all you have to do, and a wild new dynamic presents itself. After learning how to solve the cube, I was hooked. If I wasn't cubing, I was watching videos about it on the internet. I had a cube with me in every room of my house. I had a cube with me at all times. In fact, I even used to spend the 5 minutes I had waiting for my school bus with the cube in my hand. Cubing grew onto me, and I started getting better at it. There were many times when I felt like I was stuck and wasn't making any progress, but that's another thing the cube taught me. It taught me to be persistent. When we're persistent, slowly but steadily, we'll see ourselves making progress, and this little progress each day adds up to give big results. Not just for the cube, but for anything in our lives. If we're consistent, we're bound to get success. Persistence and determination are always rewarded. Risks. Progress cannot be made without taking a chance of ruining what you already have. Every new beginning runs the risk of losing what you already have. If I never decided to scramble a cube simply because the solved cube looked better, I would definitely not have been here today. Embrace change before it grips you, because change is the only constant in life. Taking a leap of faith is way better than feeding the demon of doubt. Taking a risk is like flipping a coin. There are always going to be two outcomes. You either win or you lose. But in both those cases, you will end up learning something. Now, if you think of it, almost anyone can pick up a Rubik's Cube and scramble it. It takes no special skills to scramble a Rubik's Cube. But at the same time, there are very few people who can actually solve it. What I'm trying to say is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And the Rubik's Cube isn't the only thing I'm talking about here. My first cubing competition was the first time I felt like I belonged somewhere. So many people who loved solving the Rubik's Cubes. The energy in there was electric, and surprisingly, no one even bit me. That competition was the first time I'd been put out in a new environment, out of my comfort zone, and it made me realize while our comfort zone may be the safe haven we crave to be in, nothing beautiful ever grows inside an isolated bubble. Over the years, I've ended up holding over hundreds of cubes, attending more and more competitions, getting faster, and I've ended up learning a lot. In a sense, some might say the Rubik's Cube can be treated not only like a puzzle, but also like a teacher. It teaches you things that humans can probably not. Dealing with failures is a big task. Cubing thankfully came to my rescue and taught me how to do that. I'd been attending these competitions for quite a while now, but never really came close to winning. The latter part involved a lot of crying, ranting, and second-guessing. These competitions made me realize that failures are a part of our lives. Our greatest glory is in not failing, but rising every time we fall. There will be times in life when we fail, when life hits us with disappointments. But again, failure is just a part of the process. We need to learn how to push ourselves back up. I've been passionate about business ever since I was a young kid. Cubing helped me delve deeper into my interests, and I wanted to spread my love for the Rubik's Cube and decided to give Rubik's Cube lessons to people around me. I tried many different ways of getting people to sign up for these lessons, but none of them really seemed to work out. Naturally, I decided to give up. When I told my dad this, he told me the greatest failure in life is not trying. Over all these years, cubing had taught me to keep trying, and here I was giving up before I had even started. I couldn't let a few setbacks stop me, so I decided to give these classes another shot, and did everything in my power to go and get as many sign-ups as I could. I went with a cube in my hand and used to go door to door and knock on people's doors. I used to show them how I can solve the cube and how I could teach them or their children the same. Many people were interested, and I was able to get 15 sign-ups in less than 3 hours of me trying. While during the first 2 weeks of me trying, I got 0 sign-ups. This reminds me of a quote from Thomas Edison. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success. So the next time before you decide to give up, give it one last chance. You never know what can end up happening. What this also made me realize that giving up is easy, but challenges are what push us to become better versions of ourselves. How many of you know the difference between the growth mindset and the fixed mindset? Well, it's a simple distinction between can I to how can I. Cubing helped me change my mindset from can I to how can I. Life will serve multiple challenges to us, challenges that will plant the seeds of self-doubt within our minds. The only way out of them is to cultivate a mindset that approaches problems with a simple question of how can I instead of can I. And much like the Rubik's Cube, there will be plenty of twists and turns on your route to success. There's a solution for every problem in life, just like there's a solution for the 43 quintillion combinations a Rubik's Cube has. What's common to all these solutions is practice, patience, and perseverance. Cubing also made me realize that as long as you're happy, it doesn't matter what other people have to say. On multiple occasions, I've been labeled a nerd. People told me to stop playing with toys, but I simply wasn't bothered because I loved what I was doing. As long as you're happy, you shouldn't be bothered by what other people have to say. Take the road less traveled. It leads to beautiful destinations. Cubing for me hasn't just been always about solving the puzzle. It has helped me dramatically change my outlook and how I now look at obstacles. Starting from setting a goal, to formulating a plan, to reaching the final step of execution, just like I would do for any cubing goal of mine. It helped me go from the shy 13-year-old at his first competition to someone who is now a social butterfly. It has made me a more confident individual, and most importantly, someone who does not give up in the face of adversity. So what does this cube really teach us? On days when life seems all over the place and the pieces don't seem to fall in place, you take it one step at a time, much like the cube, and I promise, with some time and effort, the pieces will simply fall into place. Life will serve many, many challenges to us. It gave me 43 quintillion new ones when I was 13. Yet, you may not be comfortable with all of these challenges. Some of them may outright scare the living daylights out of you. But the trick of the trade lies in trying out these combinations, failing, and trying out again until you find something that sticks. So, if a simple 6-sided plastic toy can put me through so much and bring me here, my question for you is, where can your interest lead you? Thank you.